Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today, we're back on Le Mans Ultimate, starting a new series over the next 7 weeks. Will take us into the new year. We're here for Race Club International's Multi-Sprint Series. 80-minute races this season. We're taking it on in the GT3 class. We also have the Hypercar class alongside us. And should be quite interesting. The grid so full, it has had to be split up into 2 separate splits. We are taking on split 1. So it's not going to be an easy time. It's going to be a little bit challenging. But yeah, it's going to be nice getting back into the GT3s a bit more regularly. Of course, we did have that race at Le Mans not too long ago. But that was just a one-off. We now have a regular series. Welcome everyone. As you can see, I have just loaded into the server. I want to try CDA setup. That's what I did the practice with. So that is what I will try running. So, as usual, well, usually I wouldn't stream practice, but it's only a 20-minute session here, so I thought it would. Of course, we did actually join the last round. This is season 4 of the series. We joined in the final round of season 3 at Bahrain a good few weeks ago now. We did that race in the Hypercar class. And now we're in to the GT3 class. Of course, Silverstone, the latest track to be added to the Le Mans Ultimate, not until we get Paul Ricard next week. Or in 4 days, just. I believe that is on Monday, coming up. But track I've only driven in prototypes. Not yet driven in GT3. So this is going to be a new experience. Interesting to see how it feels. Of course, we did do this on ACC GT3s at Silverstone. But of course, the Le Mans Ultimate is very different to ACC. One of those things is warming the tires up. Entry here, normally an easy flat corner in most conditions. Not flat out when the tires are cold in the GT3 field. But we will have plenty of time to talk during the qualifying session. It's a 20-minute qualifying session, but split into 2 halves, 2 10-minute sessions. The first half for GT3. Ooh, that was a big snap. First half for GT3. Why? That was stupid. Well, I guess we have to do another out lap then. Yes, as I was saying, qualifying split into 2 sessions. We've got the first half, and the Hypercars will have the second half, which will give us about 10 minutes to chat. What track state? High grip. I was accidentally practicing on low grip, which was very sketchy. It's not too bad on the high grip. Going to be very important, of course, to keep it within track limits at Copse Corner. But in a way, it's going to be a bit more difficult than it was with the prototypes. You also do have 1x fuel and tire wear, or realistic as the game calls it. So for our 80-minute race in the series, it will just be a one-stop race. Not too much strategy at play. Looks like we might need to adjust the fuel ratio a little bit. Plenty of time to find as we get the tires up to temperature. Car very easily unsettled into Beckett's. Already gained over half second in the first sector. So 1.8 seconds up. Time will push us up the leaderboard a bit. Still plenty of time to find. That was just awkward for no reason. Oh, that Porsche is very lucky. I'm starting to feel a bit of a temptation maybe to switch over to the default LMU setup. Especially with how the setup twitches around through Maggots and Beckett's. So a little bit of an improvement despite the poor first sector. Like that, found more than about 6/10 through Maggots and Beckett's that time, having lost a 10th through Cop's corner. Yeah, you have to be careful of clip corner there. You can take it flat out, but it's not easy flat. I gone through a little too early. That's a better line 3 club. So by 8.5 tenths up now. This will be our final lap in practice. I'll probably actually practice a pit entry. Look how much quicker we were 3 cups corner that time. More than 2 tenths found. .9% a lap. Seems to be our normal fuel number. Fuel ratio seems to be fine. When we get into stints, just the opening laps on the cold tires, it seems to be a bit out of shape. I better not cut the grass. Okay, that's an alright pit entry. Oh, we're very early. So we are. I'm going to try the LMU setup because why not? I'm not the happiest with the car. And can't really afford to have spins around here. Interestingly, the LMU setup has a little less rear wing, which you think would make the car less drivable. But it, there's obviously a lot, some differences in the rear. Right. Qualifying then. So we're going to have time for 5 flying laps. I'm tempted to just back out of this train. We're not that tight on time. Ah, yeah, why not? Of course, one of the things that will change with version 1.2 of LMU releasing on Monday is brake temperatures will have a bit more of an effect on tire temperatures. The heat transferring through the rims into the tires more, and vice versa technically. That Lexus is backing up more than it really needs to. Go into our first qualifying lap then. Of course, tire's still quite cool, so this is really only a banker lap. Yeah, car definitely feels a bit different. Feels like I need to be a little bit more aggressive with the front end, not be as worried like I had to be with the CDA setup. That's a little deep into the Ville chicane. A little bit wide through cops, can really commit to the exits properly. A little messy there. Big clouds off in that direction. sort of around the Stowe side of the circuit. And, oh yeah, some really dark clouds. BMW in front is backed out because the Lexus is just holding them up. Finding just over a second on our second lap. Bit of understeer there. Like that BMW wobbling about through Maggots and Beckett's. One thing I haven't mentioned is earlier today, or is yesterday, sorry, I was contemplating if I wanted to switch car. I've used the Aston quite a bit recently when I've been doing GT3 races. So I went and looked to see what everyone else was using up and down the grid. And there was not another Aston Martin in the field, which might lead to it being one of the weaker GT3 cars at the moment. Should be a bit of a shame. But for me, that's like, you know what? Don't need to change. You can stick with the Aston if I'm the only one in it. One more flying lap. I feel like we're gonna need to find a little bit of time. Not carrying speed into Cops, but carrying good speed out of Cops. And so we'll be about neutral on our delta as we head into Maggots and Beckett's for our final flying lap. Lost a 10th through Maggots and Beckett's. It's now in down to P12. Car in front speed on their lap. Hit the inside carb there. Doesn't look like this will be an improvement. Apex in there somewhere. Four and a half attempts to find it in the final couple of corners. Don't think good. Nope. So let's just practice a pit entry. There we go. Qualifying done. 12th out of 15th. Yeah, not too pleased with that. Porsche's looking strong. Session out night 13th. Yeah, none of the laps felt amazing, but they didn't feel awful either. Yeah, I think there's a few tenths in there. How many exactly? I don't know. I don't know exactly. So it looks like we have 15-15 this session. The last GT3 didn't go out, so I assume they're not here. So, might as well go and watch one of the hypercars. Let's see, let's watch the first BMW. I'm also going to take this opportunity to do the fuel math. Just by keeping it within track limits. Sarah, 42.8 behind. Lamborghini here not going too badly. Put themselves into third. Valkyrie here with, looks like, I think it's 2 purple sectors. Like a clean tight lap, 142.6. Second place is improving, but is about tenth and a half behind on sectors, slowing up into penultimate corner. Really has made a bit of a mess of that. So we'll see. Other BMW trying to improve, gets into 42s, but not enough to take a jump up the field. Oh, that BMW's gone for a spin. Let's see, Porsche coming up to the line. Oh, they had a slow final sector. They bump themselves up to P8. Highest Porsche at the moment. Let's see, not too many improvements. BMW in 7th. Looks to be going reasonably well. So is the Porsche in P10. So is the BMW in P11. So BMW goes up to P6. Up to P9 for the Porsche. And into P10 for the other BMW. I've had a slow middle sector. There's now 8 tenths for Eddie to find. Up to line improves. Now only 4 tenths back. But that'll be a lap invalidation there, and that'll be their final lap. Lamborghini, sector time. First sector was a little bit down. Middle sector's decent. Looks like most drivers back to the pits. Of course, the Hypercars still on the old tire model. Get up to temperature a bit quicker. And obviously being much quicker, can get in 6 laps. There, go back to the pits. BMW, slow middle sector. They gotta go for 1 more lap. They will indeed. Ooh, big snap of oversteer there. Off the curb through Beckett's. They're bailing from that lap, so either they just have 1 more car for qualifying here. Let's go on board. 10th down. Over a 10th down, nearly 2 tenths down after the first sector. Short shift up to 4th. Well, that was close with the track limits. They had to lift, and they're now half a second down. Yep, and they've bailed on their lap as well, so that will be the end of qualifying. Aston Martin on pole, BMW 2nd, 3rd, Lamborghini in 4th, Alpine in 5th. Highest Porsche in P9 of 13 cars that sell up. The last 2 aren't here. So we have 15 car GT3 field, 13 Hypercars. Upon a new set of tyres, we're probably not going to change tyres in this race. And now we wait for the session to take over to the race.
Teams and drivers go to the grid.
4 minutes till start of the formation. I think it's going to be about 40 laps in GT3. I don't know how many laps there'll be in Hypercars. Yeah, I think don't think I'm going to have the pace to really gain positions with overtakes. I think I'll have to try and take advantage of any chaos, any carnage, any incidents that happen in front, and just try and get the pit stop right is going to be my best bet. I did notice in qualifying the fuel/energy usage on the LMU setup might have been a little bit lower because it's obviously running lower rear wing. It might be a little bit more efficient, and that could maybe save me some time in the pit stop. Yeah. So a little bit more waiting. Let's just have like fuel ratio. Fuel ratio is 0.9 on this. So it seems to be a little bit higher in... Or maybe that's what it was set. I mean, I can... Oh yeah, it's the same between the two setups. At 90. Quite a bit blinking on the brake ducts. Goes down lead lap. Yeah, I think if I'm losing 2 seconds lap, I think it's going to be difficult. Depends how the race pace compares. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that easy. Depends how quick the front runners run and how much traffic gets involved as well. But yeah, good luck to yourself too, Eddie. Hopefully there isn't too much carnage. But yeah, we just want to make it through cleanly.
Formation lap has started.
It is an advantage to being at the rear. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you're not in the middle of the action, and that can help you avoid it. So it's line to line. We might be in the middle of the field when the lights go green. But we have the inside. Which is quite important. Waiting for the green light.
Green flag, green flag.
Relatively tame start. Don't like this BMW trying to chop my nose off. It's given the opportunity for the BMW on the outside. BMW being a bit cautious. But we also let into single file. Looks like everyone is through cleanly, which is great to see. BMW's got a bit of straight line speed on the Lexus, which is defending to the inside. That leaves the door open. We're going to try and slit up the inside of the BMW. Gives us bang on the wheels for no reason. Space on the outside here. Have to back out of that one on the second apex, but it helped us sort of make sure we were clear of the BMW behind. Lexus, big munch off the curb there. Try and fight with Lexus, but it's just too long for way around. Flippin' hell, Lexus. Oh, did it get an illegal overtake? It might have. I didn't force it off the track. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact as we were fighting for the apex at Village. That was just hard racing. Up to P11, it's been a good start. Got our elbows out and made it a couple of places. Do have a 2-second gap though now to the car in front. Opened up a little bit of a gap through Maggots and Beckett's. Seem to be opening a little bit of a gap. That Lexus has now lost another place, down to 14th. Half second quicker than the car behind that lap. Evening, Geeky. Ooh, BMW behind. I think they had the typical rear step out in the middle of Beckett's there. As you go through the left-hander. Not able to catch it, spinning off. Not sure if they collected the wall. We'd be surprised if they didn't with the angle that they went off at. And of course the speed that you carry through Maggots and Beckett's. Shame for them. gives us a little bit more breathing space. Deep into the Vale chicane though. That's a bit too much tight on the inside. So the Hypercars are maybe about half a lap ahead of us now. So maybe another 4 laps until they start lapping us. Some lap times being invalidated from the cars around us. There's that rear end stepping out that we've seen the BMW fall victim to last lap. So using a little less than I calculated. Track limit points to have 3. 3's not a lot, especially around here if you run wide at cops. Looks like there's a battle threatening just in front of us for P8. Now if that does kick off, that could help us close in, but the BMW behind us is slowly dragging themselves closer. That's a lot of defending and attacking into Brickland. Ferrari and Mercedes definitely going to be slowing each other down. BMW getting involved now as well. Car behind invalidated again. That's 2 laps in a row. They will get away with that, cops. A little bit wide. Oh, and the Ferrari's gone spinning. In the heat of the battle. So that promotes us into the top 10 now. Feel like I have a little bit of understeer through the Vale chicane there. Maybe a little bit of understeer in general with this LMU setup. BMW behind really is closed in now. 0.25 there from the inside of Beckett's. As the leading hypercar now makes their way through the GT3 pack. That Alpine playing a very risky game. That BMW playing a very stupid game. It's good to try and cut back on the BMW, hoping it ran in deep. But didn't. Oh, come on, Porsche! And that's killed the engine. Yeah, just drive through me as if I don't exist. Cheers. Well. I mean, that was a stupid dive. BMW was very cheeky to put its nose up in there. But, like... Come on, guys. So, a good dive there. And it works out because, oh, now this Porsche is stuck behind the things. The Porsche trying to pull out from the back of me turns into the back of the caddy, pushing, and that pushes the caddy into me. And yeah, that just fires me off. Into the wall. Just grazed the front end, but that's enough to kill the engine, unfortunately. Yeah, I want to go back to the... this BMW to try and see what they were thinking of. That's just a wild sand. What, like, oh, we gotta take every risk possible, even if it has a chance of just banging into someone's door. I need to press. Oh, the Ferrari DNF'd from their incident. Bit of a fight in the Hypercars, so Alexis going for a dive. Not gonna work out. Oh well. Yeah, well, I've the race, nothing we can do about that. Yeah, unfortunate are the end. That's annoying. Hypercar's just too aggressive. Yeah, no respect from them. Definitely. Yeah, definitely quite frustrating there. Yeah, after what had been a good start to the race, okay, we lost one position really since after the start, but we were still in a good place. We still had, of course, the strategy to come. Yeah, it's a shame to end the race that way. It's been a while since I haven't been able to finish a race. Yeah. At least it wasn't my own fault, But yeah, that is frustrating. And yeah, does not set a good tone for the rest of the series, does it? So yeah, hopefully the Hypercars learn a bit, and hopefully they're a bit better for the rest of the series, because yeah, that just was too far over the line. Multiple occasions. So yeah, unfortunately that's going to be a short stream today. We're going to be running for a couple of hours by the time the race would be done, but yeah, just over an hour and that's going to be it. We may be back on Monday. We may have another race on Monday. We may be back to the Mon in GT3s again. Before, of course, the next round of the series, which will be at Portimao next week. God, if the traffic was that bad here, how bad is it going to be at Portimao? That's not giving much hope. Yeah, thank you, Kiki, for dropping in. Thank you, Eddie, for being around. Still racing away. Currently in 12th place. But yeah, thank you all for popping by. Sorry the race ended so soon. Nothing I could do about that. But yeah, have a good rest of your evenings. Have a good weekend, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you back on Monday, if not next Friday for the second round. But yeah, till next time, take care. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.